We about to clock my tea. We starting off with the What's Gossip deck, and we got Deja Vu on the bottom. So let's go. I already shuffled the cards before I turned my camera on. Deja Vu came out in situationship. So like I said, I'm gonna clock my own tea. So for me, unfortunately, I have had more than one situationship, and with certain people, I go round and round. When I try to play by the rules of the situationship and the other person doesn't, sometimes that make me draw back. Like, you can't be out here acting like this is a relationship. You can't be out here catching feelings when this is an undefined situationship. Sometimes, like I said, I made a video about this last year. It was one person that I was in a situationship, and over time I did develop feelings. It took years, but I did like eventually love him. I never feel like I disrupted the rules. I didn't really mess around like that. It was time at the beginning where I did, and then I just was like, I really like him, so he could do him, and I'm going to just, do this. It was lack of communication. It was miscommunications. It was him not being able to talk to me. I don't know, like, I really be on some mode, but I'm your friend. But I'm your friend. So I had to get out of this energy. I had to really stop. You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't serve me, and it didn't serve the other person. I think that he had feelings too. I don't think that he was able to talk to me the way that he wanted to, or probably should have been able to, being that he's a grown man. But I just think he got other stuff going on, and that's why he couldn't. However, repeating patterns. When you see yourself circling, you see yourself doing the same thing, different people, same person, however it go, you need to like really assess and address. I came up out of it, and now I'm waiting, and I'm healing, and I'm growing, and my husband coming to find me, and I'm definitely sure about that. You gotta stop fucking around. Don't be casual if you can't handle it. And be responsible when you are casual. Let people know they're not the only one. Let people know you a free agent. Be safe when you engage in activities. And if you catch feelings, talk about them and see where it can go. And sometimes it might not go anywhere. Stop hanging on to people because you like how they make you feel, or you like spending time with them when you know you're non-committal. If they change the rules, you still got to play by them. Okay, let's see what we got next, because there's a lot of tea out here. Okay. Inner child. You see that? I've been healing my inner child and just loving on her. Being an adult that I would have needed when I was a kid, and remembering what it was like, even though it was bad and hard stuff happened and I had challenges and adversity, I know that there still was some good moments, and I was happy, and I honor those moments, and I just try to live more and live out loud, and share and connect with my daughter so she don't have to suffer the way I did. I saw something the other day. It's a guy, he be talking about healing his inner child and unpacking his trauma, and it's like, his goal is so that his kids don't have to go to therapy, at least not because of him. And that's where I'm at. I don't want to be the reason that she don't trust adults. I don't want to be the reason that she's sad. I don't want to be the reason that she's hurt. And I damn sure don't want to be the reason that I push her out of the family. Sometimes this happens too, where you get a card that don't belong in the deck, so it says messages. And it's funny, I was just talking about my daughter, but don't send mixed messages. Don't play with people's feelings, because you don't know what trauma they've experienced. You don't know what you're unpacking as far as their emotional responses. And sometimes, it's like that message in a bottle thing. Sometimes no conversation is a message. Not sometimes, all the time, it's a message. When you tell them how you feel and they don't change their behavior, that's a message. What are you doing when you receive the messages? If you want to stay in the situation, stay. But then you have to understand this is what you're allowing, tolerating, and accepting. And then on the flip, when you can't leave, make an exit strategy as best you can so you can get out. And if you can't get out, figure out how to navigate it better so it's as safe as it can be for you. Not just physically safe, emotionally safe too. Cuffing season. I used to always make jokes about cuffing season. Like my birthday is in September, and I always lived that college girl lifestyle. Like from May to September, it was on and popping. It was like a hot girl summer, and then I'll be ready to settle down. But now I really want to be settled. Like not an undefined relationship that go on for years, where you love the person and they love you, but you never tell each other because one or both of you want the safety of, at the end of the day, this, not that. You know? It's time to settle down. If that's what you want, that's what I want. Again, husband, sir, I'm ready. Come get me. I'm healthy, holy, humble, and healed, and I'm fun. I'm a mixed bag. But ask yourself, what do you want? And is everything you're doing aligning with those desires? I'm going to get one more from this deck. Let's see what we got to say. False alarm. So in clocking my tea, I think that people think I exaggerate or minimize. Like I feel like it's people on both ends of the spectrums and they don't really stay in the middle where I am. Not only am I balanced, I do not exaggerate. I laugh and I joke about things that are dark because that's a trauma response and that's how I heal. But everything I talk about is real and it's serious. And I think on the other end, because I'm not insane like I should be based on my experiences, and I'm not out here knocking I was about to say the N-word, knocking people head off. I think people think that it cannot possibly be that bad, instead of my connection to God, my connection to my spirit team, and my ability to use my clinical skills to help heal myself is why I could deal. I don't never make no big deal about nothing that's not a big deal. Dramatic, never. Because I don't like attention like that. And then you find that, like, those are the people who don't want attention is the people that's always the topic of somebody fucking conversation. I'm bothered. I'm unbothered. I be minding my business, y'all. I promise you. And then something will come up and it's like, you talking about me again? You bothered because I'm healing? You bothered because you fucked up and I left without no tension, not animosity? I used to say, you think I don't want to knock somebody's head off? I do, but I just don't. I don't even feel that way no more. I am so happy and I never thought it was possible. And it's just from healing. Like, and accepting things for how they are and being proud of who I am. Now we're doing broken mirrors. Dating. See? You see? Come get me, sir. The tea is, she is red tea. I always say, if you date traditionally, and I usually mean male, female, but it's not. It's like, what do you want? Don't be in that run and chase the energy. Come get me. I gotta be ready. Because opportunities in real life still do happen. There's nothing wrong with dating online. I just think that people can be fake and be phony. And you don't get the vibe check that you get, you know what I'm saying, when you are meeting somebody and connecting. But the other thing I feel is an issue is when you're dating, you are not married or committed. You can date more than one person. You could sleep with more than one person if that's what you choose to do. That's not nobody's business either. Outside business. Because people like to gossip and like to talk shit about you even though they do the same thing or worse. Define what it is. What does this mean to you? What does being single mean to you? What does being in a relationship mean to you? But you got to be healed. You can't be bringing your old shit into your new shit. Your new situation can be the best relationship you've ever had. But if you unhealed, you won't be able to see it. The person could be pure perfection and you won't know it because you stuck. Egg on their face. Like I said, I got a lot of high-key and low-key haters. And I have been, I think, a low-key hater. More so just about situation and circumstances because I wasn't happy and projecting. I don't really think that I'm a hater. I don't walk around with like jealousy or I'm mad. It's that messy mean girl shit. Like you seen her hair, you seen her this, like that kind of thing I used to do. I don't even do that now. And I have to acknowledge that part of that is because I don't run with the same people. It's people that's going to be embarrassed and humiliated by their choices, by their actions, by their connection to others, and because of the things that they have said and done against me that they think I don't know about. I still don't be out here losing my shit. I still don't talk crazy. I pray for these people every day, and I promise you, I made a video last year too. They pray on my downfall. That's why it's not happening, because they're not focusing their energy in the right spaces, you know? And you gotta feel sorry for them too, because we all out here struggling. Like who you know that had a healthy, productive life their whole life, whether it was family issues, whether it was community issues, whether it's just societal issues. Like we all out here trying to make sense of all of this craziness and chaos and live. And live. And I'm just trying to live and have a healthy, happy life and take care of my daughter. Leave a legacy for her so that she don't never have to suffer and she don't have to take care of me in old age. Mind games. I'm not going to hold you. I used to be a low-key, high-key Jedi master. I loved playing mind games with people because it just gave me a sense of control, and it was a way for me to exercise my intelligence. I come from an urban area, and I don't usually speak like this. You know, like sometimes you could tell, like I don't call it code switching. I just call it living. Like you got to be a chameleon out here when you look like me, okay? But I would play mind games with people, not to manipulate them, to play on the fact that I know I'm underestimated because I'm black, because I'm female, because of where I come from. Because I don't look as old as I am. People don't think that I have the wealth of knowledge that I do. And because I'm humble, I'm always open to learn from everybody, even a child. That's what makes me different. I don't believe I'm better. I just believe I'm different. However, there are people who get their rocks off from manipulating people, from playing games with them, from catfishing in real life and pretending that they're these nice, great people when they're awful. And some of them aren't awful because life is beating their ass. Some of them are just awful because that's what's comfortable to them, because this is more important than healing. And that's why I made a video the other day. I said, deuces, I got to go. And it's funny, I just posted a thing on my Facebook about Beverly Hills Cop, no banana in a tailpipe, meaning you can't fool me. I do not respond to everything. Even this video is going to trigger people, and I am going to post it because they're going to wonder, who's she talking about? Everybody. If it applies, it flies. If it don't apply, let it fly. You know what that means. Unfinished business. The thing about playing games with people and wasting time, the thing about feeling like you bested someone or feeling the need to do that is when they're done, you are left feeling unsettled. What does she know? Does she know everything? What parts do I need to make amends for? Because if I have to be outed, completely transparent, I'm going to be humiliated. I'm going to be embarrassed. If she knew how many times I looked at her profile, if she knew how many times I texted her phone, if she knew how many times I called from spam numbers, if she knew how many times I talked bad about her, knowing I didn't mean not one word of it. People know what you do. Even if they don't know outright, they know it subconsciously. They get feelings. When you connect with people, and I'm not talking just by sexually, I'm talking about energetically. When you spend time with people, when you share love with people, you have a level of knowing them that's different. It's intimate. So you can feel when something's wrong. You can feel when something's off. It's up to those people to make sure that they're doing the right thing. And it's only up to you to make sure you're doing your best. That's all you could do. Avoidance. Now this card came out in reverse. That means you can't hide anymore. You can't avoid the karma that comes from being a fucked up individual. When you do dirt, you get dirt. That's it. That's simple. I don't have nothing else to say about that. Went to another oracle deck. I just realized I ain't bringing no tarot cards over here. The runner. It says runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. And it's funny, situationship came up. Which just confirms that somebody that was connected to me wants me to stay in that energy. Don't you think it's weird when people don't want you, but they don't want other people to want you? It's like, and they don't even look at you as a prize or a trophy. They just look at you as their possession. You are mine and you belong to me and nobody else can have you. And it takes a lot of healing and emotional maturity to be able to look at those people and say, you know why you like that? Because you got stuff that you need to heal. You need to learn what healthy, appropriate love is. You need to be someplace where you feel safe and vulnerable and comfortable. And while I was that space for you, you messed that up. Or we messed it up together. So now we can't go back anymore. And then you just be done with it. You know what I mean? You wish them well. Like, I really be heavy on that. Be blessed, but stay over there, please. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to live a life full of drama. I don't want issues. I don't want nobody that's attached to you coming over here. So I'm not joking. I'm waiting for my husband. But I don't want him coming over here if he got somebody that think that they in a relationship that's coming to. I don't have time for that shit. Look, the chaser, codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues. They go together, runner and chaser. Some people like that road runner on Wile E. Coyote thing. Like, that's fun for them. Again, it arouses them. Like, this is not a just, like, I mean, super duper excited. I'm not in that, and I never have been. I don't want to chase nobody. I don't want to run away. I want to be a grown-up. You like me? Let's talk about it. Why you like me? Not because I'm cute. Not because I got big boobs. None of that. I don't want none of that. And I'm just being honest. Like I said, this is my truth, because this is what people think. People think that the only reason that a man or a woman will want you is because of sex. When really, like I said, it's because I make people feel safe. And I'm not going to lie. Some of these people I felt safe with too. Not just romantic. But they still wasn't my people. Like, they wasn't meant to be around forever. Sometimes we supposed to run away and leave things alone. It says, hand of cards, take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing your hand, and gambling. Now, this could mean many things. For me, I feel like I don't show my hand. I share what I want to share. And like I said, the mind games part, like the healed part of me is, I just don't want you to know what I know. But I don't use it against you. That's the difference. I just move on. Play the cards that you dealt. Sometimes people cheat. And guess what? You can still win with a shitty hand. They don't expect that. And they damn sure don't want you to know they cheated. Sometimes life is not fair. But I truly believe that it should be. 45 years old, I had to go through so many fucking traumatic things. I truly believe that life should be fair for everybody. I used to say just children. No, everybody should have fairness, passion, like each other equally, having fun. What'd I tell you? God, the universe, source, higher power, whatever you believe in. Luck of the draw, because, right, we deal in cards. Your ship come in when you heal. Sometimes you can't rush the process. Sometimes you got to think about healing and living life like you do walking up steps. Sometimes you cannot skip. Sometimes you got to go one by one, because it's a lesson to be learned. I saw this video on YouTube, I believe, and it was this guy. He was just talking to some random person, like, you know, outside, and the guy was like, you know, God put me here to talk to you, to be a stop on your journey. We devalue people in society. She a whore, a slut, he's a bum, he a drug addict, he this, he that. Do you know those people still got value? That they could give you wisdom about how not to end up like them, but because you look at them and you look down on them, you miss an opportunity to learn. And that's your choice, but you have to deal with the outcome of those choices. So you might have made your journey harder, despite all the stuff that came before you that you couldn't handle. Sunglasses, watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting. What I say? I know people be on these videos every day. Send them in a group chat, talking shit. She thinks she this, she thinks she this. You know what I think? I think I'm a healthy, healing, humble individual. No, I know it. I don't even think it. I know it. And I know that it takes so much strength and power to not be a fucking crash out. I know that I used to snap because I bit my tongue too much and I held on to things until I became reactive, and I couldn't always control myself. I never put my hands on people, thank God. You know, it was a couple times where, you know, I had a hand problem in a relationship. But, you know, it's not even funny, it's sad. You know, like I definitely don't have the right to put my hands on people. But I haven't put my hands on somebody in 20 years. Like, when I tell you I'm different, I'm different. And people choose to see me from the past. Heart with a key. Welcome in love, meeting the one. Open your heart. I mean, it's self-explanatory. Seduction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party. See? Getting away from the situationship shit. And the last card on the bottom of the deck says the sword and the rules, clarity, truth, and revelation. I'm here to tell the truth. I'm going to always speak the truth about my life, about the things that happen to me. And I know that other people go through these things. Other people have been shamed for their behavior, misunderstood for their reactive behavior when they have been traumatized and haven't had outlets to explore, you know, just healthy things. Like some of the stuff you're doing, it's not bad, it's not wrong. It's just somebody don't like it because you're not doing what they want. Because people benefit from you being hurt because you're easier to control. And then it's up to you to say, okay, but what are we doing about it? Justice is coming. I have been wronged in so many situations. I have been violated in so many different ways. And you would never be able to tell. Not because I'm a liar, not because I keep it hidden, because I'm healing every day in real life, in real time. I grieve the loss of the relationships that, you know, I had to end. I grieve the innocence that I lost. But me taking my power back is me being healthy. Justice comes in different forms. Pay attention. And remember, miracles happen. I know it feels like you may not be blessed, but you are. Multiple masks. Sometimes people are not who you think they are. They could be better or they could be worse. But the part that I resonate with is this butterfly. Butterflies symbolize transformation and change. You don't know what's in that chrysalis before it comes out. You see a caterpillar, right? And you be like, ugh. Then it turns into a beautiful butterfly and it soars. You be that butterfly. You can change whenever you want. And the beauty about change, and I'm not going to say because you're an adult, because kids can change too. You get to take control over what it looks like. Change as you see fit. Grow as you see fit. Make choices that benefit you. And that's how you reclaim your power. Energy, frequency shift. When you become in full alignment, right? All your chakras is balanced. Life get easier for you. Do shadow work. Dig deep to the roots of what's going on with you so you can heal. I cannot be controlled. I do not respond well to anyone trying to control me. Guess what? Not even myself. I had to learn to heal. I had to learn to love the dark side of me, to understand why that side exists, to understand that while it has hurt me and others, it serves a purpose. And because that side of me is healed, I'm better. I just made a video about how I used to be like so impatient and just, and I'm not anymore. Pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to what influences your thoughts. Pay attention to your surroundings, people, places, and things. And take pride in who you are, despite your journey, despite your struggles, despite what other people may say, think, or feel about you. It's our time to shine. It's time for the victims who have been falsely accused of being villains to stand up. It's time for the villains to realize that they were victims first and to heal. It is time for us to get past all the isms that keep us distracted, distant, and fighting, and just live our lives freely, authentically. I hope we all heal. I hope we all grow. And I hope we all have the opportunity to enjoy this life. Make good choices.